Jed, nice to see you as ever. FA Cup replays have been scrapped for next season from the first round proper onwards. What's your reaction to that?
I think it's unfair on the lower clubs. Obviously, the income, they're going to lose out on the income. But then again, you look at it, the games are going to be playing less games, which is better for the players, but it's not as good for the fans.
Yeah, do you see the reasoning for it, the fixture congestion and the player welfare, which is obviously often talked about?
Yeah, a lot of people going about that now. The way it is, the game's a lot faster now, and it's more physical. But it's always been that way. I don't like change. I like it to stay the way it was.
How will it affect clubs in the lower divisions like Morecambe?
Obviously, as I said before, the income it'll affect on that, but not much more than that. To be honest, the fans will be, as I say again, the fans will be disappointed because they don't see another game if there's a replay, and it's the beauty of the FA Cup, isn't it? Replays, but obviously that's gone now, so they'll have to move on. They'll soon get used to it.
Would you rather have games where there's jeopardy, like penalty shootouts, extra time, that excitement? Fans do like that.
I wouldn't. I wouldn't. No, but obviously it is really exciting for the fans. As you see last night, Man City against Real Madrid, it was really, really exciting. But it weren't for the manager and the players. But it's part and parcel of football, and you have to say things like that.
Okay. We're obviously a week on from the news that you were being deducted 3 points, which effectively ended your ambitions this season. Mm-hmm. How are you and the team now?
We're okay. We've dusted ourselves down after it. We're obviously very, very disappointed. Obviously, all our hard work we've done has gone down the drain, really. But we'll keep going till the end of the season. Hopefully, we can get the 6 points that we to get us to 63 points now. Do
you see it as going down the drain though? Because these players will be stronger for the situation, won't it? You'll be stronger for it. You've developed your managerial skills. Do you see it as everything down the drain?
Not everything down the drain. Maybe I shouldn't have said that, but look at the hard work we've done to try and push into the playoffs, to get the fans all excited, the club looking forward to the next game. Now that's all gone. So it's a big, like if someone's burst your bubble really, haven't you? And obviously you've got to pick yourselves up and get going again, which we will, and we'll have a right go on Saturday, our last home game, hopefully finish on a win, and then we've got Swindon away.
How difficult have you found it, or maybe easier, to motivate the players in this situation? How do they motivate themselves? Because it must be difficult. It
is difficult, but I've had a good chat with them. Obviously, it is one thing that you can push towards them to motivate them, saying, "Come on, let's forget about that now. Let's kick on and get the 3 points and try and get where we want to go." And they've responded well. Obviously, Saturday was really tough against Stockport. It was always going to be no matter what. Obviously, they've got to beat us to get promotion or a point, whatever it was. And I think you can't count that game. That game was just a really, really tough game anyway against the quality side.
Have you been given any sort of update on the Embargo situation or what the future holds?
Not really, no. I'm waiting for information off the owner about that. Obviously, we want that as quickly as possible because it's going to be really, really tough summer. If that's not lifted, I don't know what we're going to do. So, quicker the better.
I know you said last week you'd spoken to Jason Whittingham on the phone. Have you had any more conversations with him?
No, I'm just waiting for him to get back to me to tell me when it's getting lifted and next year's budget. Otherwise, we can't move forward.
Is it a situation where it gets lifted sooner rather than later? Do you have any idea? You said last week that Dan asked you if you had been given your assurances, and you said sort of. Can you elaborate on that conversation?
Well, I'll put it this way, I haven't heard nothing else since last week at all, so I'm just waiting for the answers. I'm just waiting for answers like everyone else, and obviously can't wait for it to happen so that we can kick on and move on for next season. It's got to be tough enough anyway. Don't know how many players we're going to lose, but with the embargo still there, I don't know what we're going to do.
Can you do any sort of forward planning?
Not really. I can look at players, which I have been. I've got a list of players to sign. I've spoke to certain individuals, and obviously not that that's what we can do.
Because that's a part of the job you enjoy, Jed, and you can't have the full enjoyment from it, can you, really?
Well, I enjoy every part of the job, being a manager, I really do. But as you say, I love wheeling and dealing in the transfer market, but obviously you can't do it yet.
What does your future hold with this football club, do you think?
I really don't know. To be honest, it's a question I can't answer that. I don't know. I'll have to wait and see what happens from the owner.
Are there certain parameters and criteria that needs to be in place before you say, yeah, I'll take this club forward?
Well, there's got to be, hasn't it? To take a club forward, you've got to be able to know exactly what you've got and what you can build on and who you've got around you. And at the minute, I don't know anything, so it's going to be tough.
Do you worry?
I'm not worried, no. Not at all, no.
You have been linked by one of the national newspapers to a return to Accrington. Is there any sort of accuracy there?
It was always going to be the case. Obviously, I've worked with John a long time. He's got the job. He's looking for a number two. I think they've just looked at that and they've put that in the paper.
Could you leave for Accrington or anywhere else? I suppose it's football, isn't it? That.
Listen, you know football. We all know football. Anything can happen in football. I just don't know what's going on at the minute. And as soon as I find out, I'll let you know.
Obviously, with Forest Green coming here on Saturday, they're a sort of stark reminder, aren't they, of what can happen with a football club. That they've had back-to-back relegations now. They came down with you from League One. It's tough, isn't it? If you don't get the recruitment right, you can fall into that trap. And Forest Green seem to have done that with from the outside, a stable ownership.
100%. Look, this year, Derek, I think he got his budget ready last season, and I think he signed, was it 14 players? So on a one-year contract. So it was tough then, and it's going to be even harder for me to recruit. And as you said before, with the Embargo on, it's going to be near enough impossible. What
kind of game might this be on Saturday against a team who've already gone down? I guess both sets of players playing for their futures, really, aren't they?
Well, I'm not really bothered about them, to be honest. I'm bothered about us, the way we're going to play. We're going to go out and we're going to give the fans one final game at home this season and take it from there and play attacking football, pass the ball, and hopefully get lots of crosses and score goals. I'm not really bothered how they come, whether they come sulking after relegation, but I don't think they will. They'll put a hard game, and they'll want to finish on a high as well. 100% on that. So it's going to be a tough game for us, no matter what.
Through all this, the fans have stuck by you, Ged, and you'll be so grateful of that. What's your message to them ahead of this final home game of the season?
Just, as I say, as you've just said, then they've been brilliant for me. They've backed me all the way. I just hope they get behind us on Saturday, get behind the players, and hopefully change a few players' minds to hopefully want to stay for next season.
It's a good football club, isn't it? This football club has grown significantly over the past 5, 6, 7 years. You don't want to let go of that, do you?
It's a fantastic club, it really is, and it's got fantastic people. It's just a shame the position that they're in at the minute. But everything around the club is really run really well. The board are really good, Ben's really good. Everyone, I can't say a bad thing about them, and it'd be a shame.
It must be hurting a few, not just the players and yourself, all the people around the club, and desperate for those answers that.
Of course, the fans are going round the bend, aren't they? They're desperate to know what's going on. They want to know about their football club, which is rightly so. And fair play to them for turning up in the numbers, which they have done in recent games, even though they know what's going on. And I'm sure they'll turn up Saturday and give us a final push.
What are you looking for from the players now in these final 2 games then?
Just hard work. Just what they've done in the past. Just go out there, give everything, leave everything on the pitch, and that'll do me.
Get money for your old phone, MazumaMobile.com.